Hi everyone, I just wanted to give a quick update on what's going on with the channel before I get into the review and article read on Mindhorn, the Netflix film. The reason I say this is an article read is because instead of a traditional script, I am just going to be reading an article that I wrote for my blog, Load Game, and I will be putting a link to that website down in the description below. So I would appreciate if you guys could just take a look at that if you wanted to just read the article instead of watching this whole video. Check it out. I would appreciate that. I have a lot more articles up there instead of the videos I've been posting. If you are a fan of this channel, I'm sure you know I post videos very infrequently. Hopefully that will be changing soon though, because you may be wondering, what is this channel? Because you may have noticed you used to be subscribed to a channel called the Coffin Chronicle, and I hated that name. The Coffin Chronicle used to be a blog that I wrote, and it was a great name for a blog because my name is Rob Coffin, so the Coffin Chronicle is a great name for a blog that Rob Coffin would write. It is a terrible name for a YouTube channel about film and television. Has nothing to do with either of those. So I wanted to get back into posting frequently on this channel, but I had no desire to do so on the Coffin Chronicle. So instead I changed the name to the Moving Picture Show. We have a new logo, we have a new banner. It's really cool. I'm very happy about that. I also started a new challenge for myself in the year 2019. This year I'm going to watch one movie a day for the year 2019. And so far I've kept up with it. I didn't start on January 1st. I actually started just about a week ago. And that was just because I didn't come up with the idea of it. I didn't really have any desire for either of these things. But like I realized I haven't been keeping up with movies. I used to love watching movies. And I just haven't been keeping up with it. So one day I just sat down. I watched Sorry to Bother You one day. And I was like, this is a fantastic film. And then later in the night I watched Ex Machina. And I was like, I should just do this every day. And ever since then, I've kept up with it. So I'm going to be, because of the date I started, I'm going to be watching 341 movies throughout this year. And hopefully, it's gotten me writing more on my blog Load Game, as I mentioned before. And it's going to get me to make more videos for the channel. This channel, which is now the Moving Picture Show. So, check back frequently. And let's just get into the video, the article read. And like I said, link down in the description below for Load Game. Enjoy the video. I stumbled across this gem yesterday while looking for a movie to watch on Netflix. It had a great trailer, and even as I was watching it, I found myself laughing out loud at several points. It wasn't until after the movie had finished, and I had a chance to dissect what I had just watched, that I began to see the faults. The plot of Mindhorn centers around out-of-work actor Richard Thorncroft, played by Julian Barrett. In the 80s, Thorncroft played famous TV detective Mindhorn, a detective with a cybernetic eye that worked as a lie detector, making him the world's greatest detective. Now it's been over 30 years, and most people have forgotten about Mindhorn and Richard Thorncroft, until a suspect in a murder investigation refuses to talk to anyone other than Detective Mindhorn himself. I have no problem with the plot itself. In fact, I think it's a pretty good premise. I can see how it would lead to some good comedic situation, and it even does in rare situations in the film. My problem comes from all the jokes they wrote about Thorncroft not maturing at all since the 80s. He's a misogynist, he's an ableist, and he's supposed to be our hero. Throughout the film, Thorncroft works closely with DS Elena Baines, played by Andrea Riseborough, to try and catch a mentally handicapped man who is convinced that Mindhorn is real. He spends most of the film harassing DS Baines and trying to convince his ex-wife Patricia DeVille, played by Essie Davis, to get back together with him. Did I mention that Patricia is happily remarried? Well, she is, and her new husband seems like a great guy. I can't help but compare this movie to Anchorman. Thorncroft and Ron Burgundy are both sexist television personalities, with a similar sense of humor. But the reason Anchorman succeeds and Mindhorn fails is Ron Burgundy is just one eccentric character in the over-the-top world of Anchorman. It is an absurdist, heightened reality where everyone is a character in one way or another. In Mindhorn, Richard Thorncroft is the only person stuck in the past. Everyone else has moved on with their lives, and they have to deal with this nuisance coming back to ruin everything. The biggest difference between the two films, though, is that at the end of Anchorman, Ron Burgundy actually learns a lesson. At the end of Mindhorn, Thorncroft has cleared the name of the disabled man who was obsessed with the Mindhorn character. And best of all, he wasn't around to hear all the ableist slurs that Thorncroft called him, so it's like they never happened. It is revealed that D.S. Baines helped cover up the murder, so that sexual harassment from earlier pales in comparison to her crimes. And best of all, it turns out that Patricia's current husband has been lying to her their entire marriage, so she leaves him and goes back to Thorncroft. At least this movie isn't racist, but to be fair, I don't think there was a single person of color in it. Like I said before, as I was watching this movie, I was enjoying it. I'm not ashamed of that. Mindhorn does some things well. Whenever Thorncroft is the butt of a joke, it works. That should have been the whole movie. There's a scene early on in the film. It's a clip from the Mindhorn television show. Thorncroft grabs Patricia. At the time, they were just co-stars. And she says, "Mindhorn, no." He looks at her with her cybernetic eye and says, "Your lips say no, but your mind says yes." And they kiss. I thought that was a really good joke because it sounded like something straight out of an 80s detective show. But looking back on it today, I'm not sure if that was a joke. Thank you guys so much for watching and sticking around to the end. Check out some of my older videos here, and be sure to check out my blog, loadgame.blog. And let's get out of here. I think that's everything. Let's get out of here.